sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded it to 2 hours. 2 hours, dang. Still impressed. Just me that I'm able. That I do this. Heck with the rest. By now, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard what happened in Paris. You have one candidate in Paris that says, this is the norm, get used to it. Terrorism is the normal, get used to it in your life. Oh, geez, that just makes me want to run out and vote for you so badly that you are willing to lay down our lives so you don't have to do anything. Oh, that just, at least he has the balls to say it. Unlike Obama, he hid and, oh, well, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. We're going to do something. Yeah, he didn't do shit. Now, this terror attack in Paris, think about it. Sunday, I believe Sunday is the election. That's not good. That is not good at all. You get a terror attack again in your country a couple of days before major election. You have one candidate that's saying that I'm going to take all these terrorists that are on the watch list and throw them the hell out of our country. And you have the one saying, well, you know, we might as well get used to it. It's part of our life. That is, if Le Pen wins, that could be one of those moments. One of those moments that tips it in the favor of Le Pen. I'm just, We're going to get back to more on the Paris attacks. I just saw California gunmen to appear in court on murder charge. California gunmen. You mean the terrorist? Oh, and the terror attacks in Paris. ISIS has claimed responsibility for it. The guy has shot at cops before. It's like, holy shit. Every alarm went off. I mean, alarms just were... They're just going off. And you know, did anybody step up? No. Oh, we might hurt their feelings. We might upset them. I like to. School's out. Oh, that don't wake you up. It's. How much more do we just keep sitting back? And I mean, every time I see one of these pussies that terror is part of our life now. Socialists. So I guess to be a socialist, you got to be a pussy. Cat. It just. Okay, that's weird. Tractor and trailer gets in an accident. Car gets caught up in back wheels. Truck drives a half mile after the accident, dragging the car. I mean, it's burned off the back tire of the car. Drug it so far. The guy's waving at the truck driver. He's like, dude, oh my God, that's funny. I mean, not for the driver. Oh, man. It just... I know I'm jumping around today. It's one of those days. It's... They are now calling the attack. They've been calling the attack in Paris terrorism. Of course, the left is like screaming, trying to, oh, it don't label it. Have you ever noticed the left, the socialist, liberal, pansy, progressive, they never want labels when it hurts them. Labels are bad. But when they're attacking conservatives, there is every single label in the world. It amazes me. Oh, man. It just... Paris has a terrorist problem. They've had open borders. That's what open borders will do. You see it going on all over Europe with the open borders. And that's what would have been happening if Hillary had gotten elected. Had Hillary been elected, we would have the exact same problem. And we'd be hearing the exact same bullshit answers of either we'd have to accept it or, oh, we're going to do something about it. Yeah, we saw how good Obama did. Oh, he took care of it all right. Yeah. That man just... He screwed the pooch. He screwed the pooch big time. It is absolutely ridiculous to be living in fear as these people do. Unacceptable. disgusting, repulsive. I can keep going on with my adjectives. And yet so many accept it as it is. Terrorism is not something we have to live with. These terrorist attacks, and I've said it before, you want to see terrorism end? The moment they attack a politician or a politician family, or just one of them die in one of these attacks, you will see the end of these terrorist attacks real quick. See, they don't give a shit us peons are getting killed. They don't care. Oh, we care. We're upset. No, you're not. They don't give a rat's ass. Obama would have done something by now. Well, within that 8 years, I should say. France would have done something. They don't give a rat's ass, people. And I hate saying it like that. But they do not care. And it's very apparent of what they think of us. If they cared at all, these problems would have been taken care of years ago. This wouldn't be dragging on. This wouldn't still be happening. And that's why I say it. If one of these attacks were to take place, where one of these politicians' families gets seriously injured or killed, you won't see terrorism ever again. They will stamp it out so quickly. They don't want their family touched. If you disagree, that's fine. But tell me the points how I'm wrong on that. Yeah. They don't live in fear. Why? Because they live behind security. They are nicely secured with security. If they had lived like us common folk, not that I think we're common folk, just being a wise ass, they would solve this problem in an instant. If they had to live in the conditions that we live in, a lot of the problems would be fixed instantly. But now, it's not the government's place to fix everything. I'm just saying, if they had to live in the same conditions, they would do something about it. And with the terrorism and protecting the country, yeah, it's their job. And I think Trump's doing a smashing job so far. I've said it before, I'll say it again, you got to keep ISIS on the rope. You got to put them in a defensive mode. Don't let them in an offensive mode. And these other countries are starting to learn that. If we're attacking them, they will be too busy to attack us. It's a basic strategy. Even somebody as half-witted as I am can understand that philosophy. Goes to the best offense. Well, best defense is a great offense. And that's really what it boils down to. They would have done something. They wouldn't have allowed this scumbag to stay in France as long as he did. If they actually cared about their citizens and worried about the actual terrorism that's going on. But they didn't. Why? Because they don't give a rat's ass. That's what this rambling of mine is all about. They don't care. It wins them elections. It helps them with elections. So why do they really want to solve an issue that's going to help them? I know, I'm so cynical. I'm so evil. I don't know. It is what it is. But we gotta solve this issue. We gotta solve this problem. Can't keep reporting terrorist attack here, terrorist attack there. No matter how big or small it is. It's repulsive that way. I have to, and anybody has to do this. And what these groups just, they make me want to bang my head that, we got to give them jobs. They just want jobs. They just want a hug. They just want to kill us. And playing tiddlywinks with them is not what we need to be doing. There's people just boom, 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 boom. We're gonna do nothing. And then they wonder why people like Le Pen get elected. It makes me laugh because they're sitting there dumbfounded. I don't know how they got elected. It's a shock why I lost. So it's only saying that you have to get used to terrorism. It's going to be part of our life. No, you don't have to get used to terrorism. Everybody else does. It's amazing. these people just, they're not that bright. Oh, I don't know. These terror attacks have got to stop. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and only SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. I'm trying. This world doesn't make sense anymore. So, Camille Paglia, I think that's her name, iconic author and culture critic, predicts that Donald Trump is headed towards winning re-election in 2020. Thanks to the Democrat Party that's in disarray, America's mistrust of partisan elite New York media, and she feels that the Democrats have overplayed their hand. I've been saying that for a while now. They are overplaying their hand. Everything is, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. This came during a Times Talk discussion moderated by the New York Times columnist Frank Bruni, whatever. Bravo's Watch What Happens Live host Andy Cohen joined Pagliani in the discussion about the Donald Trump era. Miss Camille scolded the Democrat Party for failing to do the soul-searching required after losing an election. It is incumbent upon the defeated party to pull itself together, or else we're going to get the re-election of the present administration, she said, adding that Trump is heading for election because the Democrats have overplayed their hand. You know what? I'm for Donald Trump. I'm conservative. And I've pointed out this is what they would have to do to win, to get reelected, to win elections. What they're doing now is handing it to the conservatives. But some of the conservatives are also hey, here's a gift on a silver platter. Pull their gun out, shoot themselves in their foot. What the Democrats needed to do, and the major media, Frank, needed to do was to do some soul-searching, she added. The Bernie Sanders supporter who voted for the Green Party presidential nominee, Jill Stein, slammed the New York Times both for getting the election so fantastically wrong and misleading their readers. The New York media was in an absolute bubble about this. If you read only the New York Times, I said, oh my God, the reader of the New York Times are headed for a major, major breakdown shock if Trump is in fact elected. Let's not get started on the strategic errors of Hillary's campaign, Camille went on to state. It's... the Democrats just, I've said it before and I'll say it again, they're blind. They're blinded with this hatred. And part of that hatred is pointed to us. Pointed right at us. Because they don't understand why we didn't reelect them. It's pointed at us because they want to know why they're not the chosen ones. They're at a loss. And they're mad at everybody except for the people that should be the ones that they're mad at, and that's themselves. They screwed this up. John Podesta screwed this up. And they just keep giving that guy positions. It wasn't racism. It wasn't sexism. There was a failed campaign, a failed candidate. You know, keep acting like children like you are right now. Keep crying Russia. Keep screaming impeachment. You're strengthening the Republican stance for 2018. Another reason why I'll never vote a Democrat. This shows just how fucking stupid they are. They can't see the facts that are slapping them in the face. I'm dumbfounded. CNN is now breaking a story that FBI used that bullshit dossier, the peeing Russian prostitute that turned out to be false, fake, a joke. That's what they used and went to the court to be able to surveil his people. It's from CNN. The dossier has also been cited by FBI Director James Comey and some of his briefings to members of Congress in recent weeks as one of the sources of information the Bureau has used to bolster its investigation, according to U.S. officials briefed on the probe. This includes approval for the secret court from the secret court that oversees the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, to monitor the communication for Carter Page. Two of the officials have said last year Page was identified by the Trump campaign as an advisor on national security. This is not the FBI's only use of the dossier. Last month, the BBC reported that the document served as a roadmap for the FBI investigation into claims of coordination between Moscow and member of Trump's presidential campaign. That's scary. And this guy is still in charge of the FBI. Oh boy. That scares the crap out of me. Instead of questioning the motivations for its reported use of the suspected dossier, some media organizations actually brandished the FBI's report use of it to bolster the dossier's credibility, when it's been proven it was a bullshit dossier. It was bought and paid for by the Democrat Party to create it. Oh my God, makes me laugh. Because if I didn't laugh, I would cry. It's... Yeah, this is what the Democrat Party runs around chanting about. A myth. And they thought we were too stupid to pick up on all this, to know the truth. That's what they think of us, that we're too stupid. That they're oh so smarter than us. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm smarter than the average bear. Oh, it's... And they just, they just keep on going on with these reports. And it's, they keep going to it and they keep thinking, and and here it is, the dossier, which contains wild and unproven claims about Trump and sordid sexual acts, including the wildly mock claim that Trump hired prostitutes and had them urinate on a hotel room bed, was compiled by former intelligence agent Christopher Steele, who was paid by the Democrats and the anti-Trump Republicans to investigate Trump. See, the thing is, with these types of issues that pop up, such as this, it's worked in the past. Because what happens when a politician gets accused of something? Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. And they spend their whole time chasing that negative, trying to disprove a negative. And it doesn't work. And they spend all their time. Trump just went, nope, next. Nope, not talking about it. I said I didn't do it, and I'm going on. And that's how Democrats win election. You make an accusation, and the opponent is going to chase that accusation. That is straight from Rules from Radicals. And to prove it, they were talking in this article how it bolsters the dossier's credibility. Headline: Report: FBI's use of Trump dossier in court request boost its credibility, is a title from an AOL.com article. It's already been disproven. And it proves that they got false. They gave false information to acquire wiretaps. It proves they lied to FISA to get wiretaps. It's... And now there's questions. Was the author Steele paid by the FBI at the same time he was paid by Fusion GPS? Was this guy double dipping? The Washington Post has reported that after being paid to compile opposition research on Trump by the billionaire's opponents during the election, Steele reached an agreement with the FBI a few weeks before the election for the Bureau to pay him to continue his work, according to several people familiar with the arrangement. Ultimately, the FBI did not pay Steele, the Post has reported. This man was hired as a political hitman. And then our top law enforcement agency jumped and tried to use that. That is disgusting. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense on SHR Media and only SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat from a stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, today's Friday. What is everybody's plans for this weekend? I don't think I have any. And I kind of like that. Sounds like it's going to be a nice, quiet weekend. I like those. Actually, I got to go to my brother's. A friend of mine's fixing his AC for him, so take a drive out. I think today I get my present, a 250, 275, whichever, gallon tank. Now, it's one of those, it's a white one in a cage, if anybody's ever seen them. I set up for rain collection. And for my plants and stuff, I collect rainwater. My plants do so much better when I water them with rainwater. But when I use anything else, it's usually it's not the same. I don't get the response from my plants. So I collect my rainwater. And I'm using a 55-gallon drum right now. I was going to add a second one in, but I was like, what the heck? I got access to this. I think it's getting delivered today, and it'll get put in the next couple of days. I got a pump that's on a little 12-volt battery operated pump that pumps the water to the front of the house. I got it all set up. And you know what? I've been piecing stuff together. The only thing I bought was the pump. And that cost me not even $20 on Amazon. So, I'm working, man. I got to get working on my backyard. Backyard's been looking kind of ratty of late. But it's hard to do stuff when you're banged up like I am. I don't know. See what I could do when I could do. I got some new I got sunflower seeds I want to put up in the backyard. But also, once I get the water tank in, I want to put some kind of vine-type plant. And have that grow all around the tank so that it covers the tank and keeps it cool and all that. Happy stuff. Well, we'll see, Once it gets here, like I said, I got to paint it. And the person that's bringing it to me is getting one for himself, and he's like, why are you going to paint it? I'm like, well, it's kind of see-through, isn't it? Well, that allows algae to grow. Well, that will cause algae to grow. So you paint it so the sunlight doesn't come through and you don't get algae. So the water can stay in there an extended period of time. Oh, boy, where are we at? Oh. All right, we're going to take, I know we just came back, something just came up, and I'm going to have to take a little bit of an extended break. Let me set it up. Sorry about this, you know how it goes. And, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Ow. Sorry about that. All right, be right back.
shone like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Now there's a look in your eyes, like black holes in the sky. Shine on, you crazy diamond. You were caught in the crossfire of childhood stardom, blown on the steel breeze. Come on, you target for faraway laughter. Come on, you stranger, you legend, you martyr, and shine. You reached for the secret too soon. You cried for the moon. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Threatened by shadows at night and exposed in the light. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Well, you wore out your welcome with random precision, rode on the steel breeze. Come on, you ravers,
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. So I just came across an article, and Politico is blaming Trump for Berkeley violence. Political Dave Siders offered a revisionist history of the violent suppression of free speech at the University of California, Berkeley, on Thursday with an article titled, How Berkeley Became a Hotbed of Violence in the Trump Era. And a classic example of question begging, Siders, assuming Trump is the catalyst, began his bullshit explanation with a visit by Trump supporter Milo to the Berkeley campus in February. But suppression of free speech at Berkeley by leftist mobs began long before. As recently as 2014, during the 50th anniversary celebration of free speech movement, no less, a mob of left-wing radicals broke up a speech by entrepreneur Peter Thiel, bursting into the hall where he was speaking to students and forcing him to flee for his physical safety. The event occurred long before Trump declared his candidacy for presidency, and even long before Thiel became a Trump supporter. And in 2000, a Breitbart News, Daniel Flynn recalled a similar mob, including many looking like they had crawled out from under a dock in the marina at the end of the University Avenue. Drown my words with shouts of murderer, racists, and Nazis. They attempted to rip the microphone cord from the wall. A man mooned me, and in one last indignity, the hecklers seized my writings to fuel their actual book burning. Flynn added, this all happened under the watchful eye of two pleasant Cal policewomen. Little has changed during the anti-Milo riots. The campus police were ordered to take as little action as possible as the intolerant mob destroyed public property. To add insult to injury, the student editor of the Daily California then defended the anti-Milo riots by publishing a series of essays justifying the use of violence to shut down conservative speech, admitting that he has taken away free speech of others. That's what the left has been doing and is doing. With they're using violence, they're also using passive-aggressive techniques, and they're trying to shut down free speech. Trump is the only latest pretext. The reason that Berkeley has become a hotbed of violence is that the campus has long ago rejected the ideas of the free speech movement and embraced a totalitarian progressive mindset that rejects all dissident. There are occasional exceptions. Almost a year before Thiel spoke, Senator Rand Paul addressing a standing room only crowd at Berkeley and received a standing ovation. But that was before Black Lives Matter was launched, before the media began excusing violent riots carried out in the name of that cause, and in between radical movements, the intolerant fester at Berkeley, waiting opportunistically to emerge as protest. As one of the veterans of the original free speech protest in 1964, philosopher John, laminated in 2014, Berkeley has not achieved that movement's goal, partly because of its hostility towards conservatives' views. And explaining the latest violence by reference to Trump alone, Political Insiders has repeated a mistake the media made, at times deliberately, in reporting the 2016 campaign, namely blaming Trump for violence deliberately launched by leftists with the self-described goal of creating a sense of anarchy around the candidate and fear among the public. It is precisely because the media fail to hold the campus left unaccountable that the problems at Berkeley and other campuses persist. This is the scheme by the left: create fear, create violence, and keep everybody in check. And if there's speech out there that opposes you, you silence it any means necessary. That doesn't sound like democracy to me. That doesn't sound like our republic to me. It doesn't sound like the United States to me. Sounds like the left is pushing communist Russia tactics down our throats. This is what they accuse us of, but they are the ones doing it. And again, to my saying, to steal from BZ, a Reaver axiom, if the left is accusing someone of it, they are doing it themselves. They are trying to deflect away so you don't look behind their curtain. And just as in Oz, when you look behind the curtain, the magic goes away, and it's ordinary man. Well, when you look behind the curtain of the Democrat Party, you see a criminal. I can come out and say I'm Mary fucking Poppins doesn't make me Mary Poppins. Just as they come out, we're doing this for the best of America. No, they're doing it best for their pockets. Their actions say otherwise than what their words say. They're not out for the best of America. They're not out for the Constitution. They use the Constitution to further their illegal activity. The Democrat Party is a cesspool of anti-American sentiment against justice. They're for anybody and everybody but Americans. Let me check out. Now, Ann Cloutier, whatever, you know who I'm talking about. Ann Cloutier. She's going on with her speech at Berkeley, and now they're threatening Rodney King-style riots because they can't stand free speech. They can't stand anything that opposes them. It hurts their little feelings. And these idiots, this anti-fascist group, they are the fascists. They are the one that are using the techniques of fascism. Amazes me. Absolutely amazes me. Just how oh man, it's just Oh, my God. Vice.com and some idiots retweeting it. How Trump's inaction on climate change could lead to impeachment. Oh, my fucking God. These leftists are in denial. They got sold a bill of goods, and I hate to tell them, it's not exactly working. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that's that douchebag that was stalking me for a while. I just was a little bored for a second, so I wanted to look it up. Where are we? It's scary out there. This is not the country I was brought up in. This is not the country that I cared for. You have criminals being held up as saviors. It just... I don't know. I don't know. It's scary is what it is. Oh, man, it's... I never thought I'd see the day when I saw so much... I can't believe that the Democrat Party actually is getting behind and agreeing that protecting the silencing of free speech. It almost dumbfounds me. I never thought I'd see any political group that would openly and willingly support silencing free speech. I just can't believe it. But yet, here it is. We see it. I see it every day with the Democrat Party. And it amazes me that they are that party has gone so far away as to a destructive end. I don't know. Maybe I'm being naive when it comes to what I thought America was about. Maybe I thought this country was better than this. But the Democrat parties just seem hell-bent on tearing it down. They just want to tear it right down. They don't care. Inflict as much damage as they can. The party's floundering. The only thing they have left are these extremists. And they're like, well, we're trying to emulate the Tea Party. Tea Party was not anything like this. It's amazing. I'm dumbfounded. I mean, they're threatening Rodney King style riots. And it's still, the Berkeley Police Department is allowing this. They've sat there and watched people getting assaulted and done nothing. And maybe it is. Maybe they need to bring in a National Guard to Berkeley like they did in the 60s to stop this violence. I don't believe in bringing in the military like that, but you know what? They're going to act like douchebags. Treat them like douchebags. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it's still. We could fight this. I mean, it's a battle that's going to happen. Figurative battle. But then again, I don't know. Sometimes maybe it is going to be a real battle. But we can't keep going in the direction we're going. Something's got to give. It's got to. We can't keep going in this direction, people. It is not good. I don't know. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media. We'll be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are The Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I am trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Obama's operatives direct town hall disruption nationwide. Now, this article goes on, as a member of Congress wind up their Easter break back in their districts, a website honoring former President Barack Hussein Obama is providing progressive with the information and tools they need to disrupt town hall meetings that lawmakers are holding over the remainder of this week. Visitors to the townhallproject.com website can find everything from detailed information on each scheduled town hall meeting to how to make signs and even specific questions to ask to push the agenda on a range of talking points, including investigating President Donald Trump, Trump's starvation budget on foreign policy, climate change, supporting illegal aliens, and LGBT communities. Now, if you simply on the Town Hall Project, click on the About icon, the first thing that pops up is a quote from Obama's farewell speech in Chicago on January 10, 2017. That brought a tear to my eye. That the day finally came that shithead was out of office. But it goes on, it falls to each of us to be those anxious, jealous guardians of our democracy, to embrace the joyous task we've been given to continually try to improve this great nation of ours. Because all of our outward difference, we all share the same proud title, citizen. Not all of us share that title of citizen. There's a lot of illegal aliens in this country. They are not citizen. The website states, the Town Hall Project empowers constituents across the country to have face-to-face conversations with the elected representative. We are campaigning veterans and first-time volunteers. We come from a diversity of backgrounds and live across the country. We share progressive values and believe strongly in civic engagement. We research every district and state for public event with members of Congress. Then we share our findings to promote participation in the democratic process. The page also reveals the kind of progressives who are manning the town hall efforts by naming its sponsors. MoveOn.org, Center for America Progress. The latter is under direction from John Podesta. longtime Obama operative and Hillary Clinton campaign manager. And then the town hall website also links the website of both organizations as well as the sponsor's Indivisible website, which features a video of Rachel Maddow on MSNBC reporting about the power of town hall movements. If the Tea Party was able to take on a historically popular President Obama with a Democrat supermajority to slow and sometimes defeat his federal agenda, we can surely take on Donald Trump and the members of Congress who would do his bidding. They're trying to emulate instead of creating. And that's the problem. On the Indivisible website, protesters are told your job isn't to convince your member of Congress of anything. It is to create the political condition necessary to force them into new positions or to replace them. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and every mark against them will matter, especially footage of them flailing in a town hall with you and your group. Especially with footage of them flailing in a town hall with you and your group. That's what these interruptions are about. MoveOn.org instructs protester on bird dogging lawmakers. Bird dog is fun and easy. Remember that? Oh, we don't do any of that thing. We don't do no bird dogging. Oh, we don't know what Veritas is talking about. We don't do no bird dogging. Again, it pops up. It's... trying to pull up the definition, sorry. So the bird dog means to follow, watch carefully, or investigate. When used in a political context, the term refers to activists who seek out candidates, pins them down with specific questions or information, and retrieves their view. It is a way, basically, to fuck with people. How to bird dog successfully states in part arrive in advance. You want to get a seat close to or in front of the stage or platform to make sure that you have the ability to ask a question and that your member of Congress can hear you. Maybe us conservatives need to start taking some advice from the Democrats. Maybe we should start bird dogging their candidates, pinning them down, forcing them into saying certain things. If your group is protesting and not invited, make sure you find all the entrances and know where the parking lot is. If applicable, try to map out the route your member of Congress will take in and out of the facility to increase the chance that they see you. Don't give yourself away. Don't wear clothing or wave signs that will let people know that you are coming to bird dog your member of Congress. You want to make sure that you have an opportunity to ask your question. Know your member of Congress position. Study your member of Congress position on your topics of issues. You want to make sure that they know that you know what you are talking about. Many times, in an attempt to dismiss and discredit elected officials, look for ways to make you seem less informed and thus not qualified to ask your question. However, it is your right as a constituent to ask your question, and being informed will make it harder for you to be dismissed. CAP's Recess Toolbox is entitled Resist and provides questions protesters should ask at town hall meetings. Will you call on President Trump to release his tax returns? We must know whether he'll profit from the GOP's tax reform plan. See, they went from that he will profit from the GOP tax reform plan about his taxes, and it all started with, well, we want to know about Russia. Does he have anything in Russia? They're phasing away because it's made him look like a tinfoil hat wearing audience. Will you take any steps necessary to avoid a government shutdown, including keeping policies like defunding Planned Parenthood out of the spending measures? Do you support Trump's cuts to the EPA, which will pollute our air and water? Do you support protecting LGBTQ people from discrimination in employment, housing credit, and public places and service? What pissed me off about that, there's already laws to protect that. It's if they were justified in their actions and true, they wouldn't need these tactics. They need these tactics to try to get that aha moment from a candidate. We are at a dangerous crossroads in this country, and I keep saying that. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. It's just we are at a dangerous crossroad at this moment. If we do not step up, I don't know what the result can be, but it's not going to be good. This is not, we got to keep Trump in office. No, these dangerous folks, these radicals, need to be I dealt with, I guess, is the best word I can think of. And, oh, you want him shut? No. I'm talking, they need to be dealt with. They're not out for the best of this country. They're a danger to this country. Very dangerous. It's, I don't know. We could be in deep trouble if these people are continuously allowed to disrupt this country. And that's they're not proving a point, they're disrupting. And the Democrats think it's funny that we have a group that's disrupting. They're not trying to improve, they're just trying to disrupt and interrupt the political process. They can't handle losing. Because they've been told they're winners their whole life. It's a sad thing when I watch this country and what it's turning into with... And it seems that we're repeating history. I mean, this is what happened in the 60s. With the hippies, I mean, we had this before. And they're trying to push this anti-American agenda and say it's what's best for America because we care about America. No, you don't. Socialism and progressivism, it's not going to help our country. And no, just because you have social programs does not make it socialist. But I'm still laughing. I got in a discussion with someone one time. They were trying to tell me that the Nazis were not socialist, National Socialist Party. I was like, okay, yeah. That'd be like saying the Republican that's running for office is not a Republican. This country, I don't know, are we heading towards a civil war? Has it already started? Has the left already started a civil war? And the right's just trying to sit back and not finish it? We're trying to do the right thing? Because if we step up, it's going to be a bloodbath, and then we're going to look like the bad guys in it. But there's only so much a person can take getting slapped around. Figuratively and literally. The left is going to push it one of these times a little too far. And you're starting to see it. Easter weekend, you started seeing pushback from some of these conservative groups. They started pushing back. They're not taking it. And that's not a good thing because there's a powder keg waiting to explode here, people. And that's scary as hell. That's scary. The resulting explosion could have ripple effects in this country for decades. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as is the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Last segment. The show's gone by pretty quickly today. That's a good thing sometimes. You know what? I'm not even paying attention to the chat room. All right. Whew. Good. I'm looking through some stuff. It is... a weird time in our existence. I'm finding a little comedy within right now the EU, European Union, is freaking out. And the officials are increasingly fearful of a Marine Le Pen upset in France. Now, her party has had a history of being anti-Semitic and racist, but she's been breaking away from it. She broke away from her father's stance of a lot of things to the point she tossed him out of the party. She banned him to try to get rid of the stigma of anti-Semitic. But at one part, it was she's still a long shot, but is no longer considered an impossibility. Mainly because of three factors: the unexpected passage of the Brit-X referendum in Britain last year, the unexpected election of Donald Trump in the U.S. this past year, and a trend of rising nationalistic political parties in countries across Europe in recent years. People are caring more and more about their countries than before, as it was being jammed down our throat about globalism. And if you really wanted to push that globalism, you'd be smart right now to actually just back down and back away for a little bit. I know that hurts the likes of George Soros because, well, that hits him in the pocketbook. Hits him in his purse. But sometimes it's better to walk away. I mean, what they're trying to do, you really need to walk away. And if I was doing it, I would back down and, the subliminal push for, the global economy type thing. But they're not smart enough. They got too impatient, and they're pushing too hard. The first round of the presidential elections will be held on Sunday, April 23rd. There are 11 candidates, so it is almost impossible for anyone to win by getting over 50% of the vote. The top two candidates will then take part in a runoff election on May 7th to determine the final winner. President, whatever the current president is, a socialist, has had abysmal popularity ratings and so has chosen not to run for a second term, a decision unprecedented in modern times. With the attacks that are going on, I mean, if ISIS never attacked, they would continue their path of socialism. The more attacks that happen, the more it's pushing for the national and conservative. Because people understand the only way they're going to be able to protect themselves. These socialists can't protect, won't protect. So the people know that they have to turn to the conservative type parties for protection. Now, the polls put the top four candidates at around 20% each. Emmanuel Macron is the youngest at 39 years old, former investment banker and former economic minister under Hollande. He is considered to be the favorite among the mainstream globalist European politicians. The early favorite was Republican Fillon, but his support has crashed because of a scandal where he allegedly arranged for his wife to receive a large salary for a job that required little to no work. There's a far-left candidate, a kind of political mirror image of Le Pen, though not entirely. Le Pen is anti-immigration, while Jean-Luc whatever is pro-immigration. The two candidates do agree with one important issue. Neither of them like the euro currency. Although Le Pen could flame out in the first round, it is widely expected that she will be one of the two leading candidates. Mainstream politicians are hoping a second round matching Le Pen with Macron. In that case, it is expected that Macron picks up voters from the candidates that have dropped out, while Le Pen's core group of supporters would stay the same, with the results that Macron would defeat Le Pen by a wide margin. The scenario that most fear is that the first round on Sunday, the two winners would be the two extremes, the far right Le Pen and the far left Mélenchon. This would be considered a disaster for the Eurozone, as either one would like to return to the original franc currency. After last year's unexpected BritX and Trump victories, there's a great deal of anxiety among European politicians who fear that anything could happen. BBC and Market Pulse and Foreign Policy and Euronews and Daily Signal. Le Pen's fight. At some point, she came to the conclusion, and this is Le Pen is the current leader of the Front National Party, which had a strong history of anti-Semitism under its previous leader and founder, Le Pen's father, and he was a Holocaust denier. She came to the conclusion that she and the Front National Party could not become successful without completely breaking its anti-Semitic past. So she did so by breaking with her father and banning him from the party. She has not repeated any of her father's remarks and has even condemned them, but in interviews she has always asked about Jewish issues, and her answer is always heavily scrutinized by the mainstream press that is consumed with hostilities to her as with Donald Trump. These people are not learning their lesson and understanding that the press going after may be strengthening her. They're not learning. One of the most controversial example occurred in a recent interview where she insisted that France was not responsible for the July 1942 atrocities known as, I ain't even trying some French word, where French officials rounded up 13,000 Jews and turned them over to the Nazis to deport to Auschwitz. She had scrambled to explain that the real French government at that time was in exile, while the perpetrators of the atrocity were the puppet government in Paris under Nazi control. Well, we will see. I mean, with this attack, that throws, so to speak, a monkey wrench into the election. That really throws major issue. I'm dumbfounded. Now, the Supreme Court just heard a case, and it's pondering which way it's going to rule. But it looks like it's going to strike down a state constitution anti-faith amendment. The Supreme Court seems posed to strike down constitutional amendments in 39 states that forbid tax money from going to churches after Wednesday oral argument in Trinity Lutheran Church versus Comer, unless two procedural issues derail the case at the last minute. Missouri has a state program in which they reimburse organizations who use recycled tire rubber to make floor surfaces on playgrounds softer and safer for children. Trinity Lutheran Church runs a preschool daycare but is disqualified from being reimbursed because it is a church-related organization. I'd like to see if they do the same thing if there was a Muslim equivalent. Would they ban any government money from that? In the late 1800s, there was an anti-Catholic attempt nationwide to pass a federal constitutional amendment that would bar taxpayer money from going to any religious organization on the theory that it would block Roman Catholic schools. While this Blaine Amendment was never passed at the federal level, 39 states adopted some similar provisions in their state constitution. Missouri is one of those states. Although originally intended to target the Catholic faith, Blaine amendments apply to all churches and primarily faith-based operation. As time went on, all faiths have found themselves deprived of these programs. Whether evangelistic, liberal, Protestant, Jewish, or other faiths, Blaine Amendment became a legal tool to push secularism over faith. Many lawyers and experts have argued for decades that Blaine Amendment violates the free exercise clause of the United States Constitution First Amendment, which provides that the government will not abridge the free exercise of religion. But that is what is happening here, where a church is disqualified from being treated like everyone else for a purely secular program solely because it is an organization that also exercises religious faith. Justice Keegan may have tipped her hand that she might side with people of faith in this case, which would suggest this could be a lopsided vote in favor of religious liberty rather than a 5-4 split among justices. But does it seem as though this is a clear burden on a constitutional right? Keegan said to Lanton, the lawyer defending Missouri's constitutional provision. And then your interests have to rise to extremely high level for the U.S. Constitution to allow the law to stand. Justice Anthony Kennedy asked hard questions of both sides. Back in 1947, this court said in no uncertain terms, what the framers didn't want was tax money imposed to pay for buildings or maintaining church property. Keegan likewise asked tough questions of both sides. Suppose there was an application from a church that used its playgrounds for religious activities, had prayer service there, for example. Could the state, in your view, deny the money on that grounds? Justice Ginsburg's toughest questions were directed at Courtman. Could they demand a matter of federal constitutional right that playground be funded, even though they have an admission policy that favors members of their church? This church is not going to close its religious practice or its doors because its playground doesn't have these tires. Justice Sotomayor, who, like Ginsburg, seems skeptical of the church's legal argument. So I'm not sure how this is a free exercise question because there is no effect on the religious belief. Well, we will find out soon enough which way the court's going to land on this one. With that, that's going to be the end of the show. And I'll see everybody on Monday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.